Hi, it's Audrey, and welcome to segment 5 of our chakra series here on Joyous Soul. Chakra 5 is our throat chakra, Vishuddha chakra. This is an important one. Well, they're all important, but this is our communication center. Right? So at the throat, you think about speaking your truth, speaking your mind, being able to convey your thoughts and your ideas into words. It's all happening at the throat center. So I find this work interesting because I focused on it a lot before I was really comfortable speaking in front of a group. And it's amazing how when you really focus on moving and energy and balancing and opening up these chakras, you really do feel a total difference. So this stuff works, I'm telling you. Go ahead and come to seated and have your eyes closed. And we'll just go ahead and sit up straight and tall, as always. And I want you to focus on your ujjayi breath, right? So that breath that we use in our active Vinyasa practice, our active yoga practice, where we make that aspirant sound at the back of the throat. So it's right, you have your mouth closed and you're breathing in and out through your nose, but you can hear it at the back of the throat. Take a few more like that. Good, and so then we'd like to continue that ujjayi breath as we come into some neck movements. We'll call them neck rolls, but we're going to start out just with nodding forward, right? So take another inhale like we've been doing, that ujjayi breath. And then as you exhale, bring the chin towards your chest. Inhale, head comes up just so chin is parallel with the floor. And exhale, chin lowers to chest. Continue that process, continue that breathing, continue that connection to that space at your throat center. The color associated with this chakra is blue. You can bring that into your visualization. The mantra is HAM, H-A-M. Next time you lift your head, we're just going to circle a little bit more. So take that right ear to right shoulder. The exhale lowers the chin down in that circular motion. The inhale brings it to other side. So now left ear is above left shoulder. Exhale, come back down through the center and over to the right on the inhale. Exhale, chin lowers. You're making, it's really a half circle here. And inhale, ear to shoulder. Exhale. And inhale. Got that audible breath happening, that ujjayi breath. We'll just do 2 more like that. Back to center. Lift the head, get long through the spine, and particularly the neck. Right? Feel what that feels like to draw the crown of the head up, to root down and not have such a large curvature in the mid-back or the neck. So this whole area is nice and open. Come onto your hands and knees, and we'll take a couple of those cat and cow stretches. So if we do the same postures, but we're focusing on a different chakra, right? We do the postures physically in the same way, but with our awareness, with our attention, maybe with our breath work, we get in a little bit deeper. So as you lift the head, right, you're focusing on how that feels at the front of the throat. And then as you round again, you're closing off that space. Coming to neutral spine, And we did this same pose with heart chakra, but like I just said, we're going to focus now on how it's affecting the throat. Walk the hands wide out in front of you. Keep the hips over the knees, lower the chest and the chin toward the floor. See if you can make the neck a little bit longer without any discomfort, right? Of course, if you feel any pinching or unnecessary pressure, you back out of it a little bit. And take a couple of those Ujjayi breaths here. And a couple of swallows, right? To make sure that you can swallow easily and easefully. Feel that energy at the throat. And then we can walk the hands back up and we're into that table pose again. From here, you're going to come down onto your belly. And we'll work with some locust posture, some Shalabhasana. What I want to do is a more traditional way than we sometimes do. Oftentimes we do this in class, which is a great pose where everything's lifted. For this variation, we're going to keep the chin and the chest down on the floor. So I want you to take your arms and you can bring your hands underneath you, palms down, so your pinky fingers are touching and your hands are splayed. If that's really miserable, one thing I like to do is interlace the fingers, keep the thumbs long, and then place the hands right below the pubic bone. If neither one of those is particularly working for today, you can just place the hands outside the hips. So you choose. And from there, again, we're bringing that chin forward a little bit more, just like we had it in puppy pose. And you're going to lift the feet and the legs up off the floor. Good. Breathe here. Make sure you're using your core muscles too. So navel is toward the spine. Feel real strong. See if you can tap back into that Ujjayi breath. And then we'll lower the legs. Just take a little rest here, turning the head to one side or the other. Big breath in, big breath out. Come into another one of those traditional Shalabhasanas. Lifting the feet and the legs high up off the floor. Doing your best to keep the chin down and the neck long. Lower the legs, turn the head to opposite side. Breathe in fully and out completely. We'll place the hands under the elbows. Press yourself back through that table pose. And then come into a down dog just to stretch everything out again and find that nice long spine and legs and arms and fingers. Let's rise the right leg here and step the foot forward between the hands. Turn the back heel down, come up to Warrior 2. Saddle in through your Virabhadrasana 2. And then just like we did when we were seated, right? Lower the chin toward the chest and bring it back up. So with that Ujjayi breath, you're lowering and lifting. One more. And reverse the warrior. Get that nice stretch through the side body for our purposes today, through the side of the neck. You're arching. Come up to that Warrior 2 again and come into this kind of modified side angle pose. So you have the right arm to rest on and just let your head hang down here. Stretch the left side of the neck. Breathe. Next inhale, we're rising back up to Warrior 2 and exhaling, hands down either side of the foot. Step that right foot back. You can hang in your down dog or child's pose, or you can flow through. When you find your back bend, your cobra or your up dog, a little more with the the neck there. Take the head back further than you normally would in those poses, just so we stay conscious of that area. Left leg lifts and the foot steps forward between the hands. We're going to find this warrior two. Settle into it. And then we did about 4 or 5 of those. Lowering the chin down. Inhale, bringing it parallel with the floor again. Throat chakra, Vishuddha chakra. What is it that you want to say, right? What's your truth? What's happening in your heart, in your mind? Next time head comes lifted, right hand to right thigh, left arm reaches up and back. Let the head hang over. Stretch those muscles in the side of the neck. Open up the vertebra on the side of the neck. And then come back through that warrior two. Left forearm to the thigh. Right arm up and over. Head's just going to hang down here. Let it do its own type of stretching. We're not trying to force it. We are breathing into it. Coming back up to that warrior two. And hands to the mat. Step it back. You guys know what to do. You're either flowing or you've found something else that works for you. Downward facing dog. Let's come into a plank from here and move that right hand in just a couple inches. Roll to the outer right foot or set that right knee down. Left foot comes back behind you a little bit. Sole of the foot flat on the floor. That wild thing pose. We do this a lot in back bending classes. Now I just want you to take your head back a little bit more. Again, just making sure it feels okay on your neck. It's not an area we ever want to put into danger. Everything has to feel good. Come back out of it. Find that plank. You can flow through. We meet in down dog. We find our plank again. Left hand just comes in a little bit. Knee could be down, right? You guys know that. Right foot comes back. Press into the sole of the right foot. Outer edge of the left foot. Lift the hips, lift the chest. And then let the head hang back even more. Breathe deeply, fully, completely. Coming out of that back into your plank. Maybe you got some flow happening. Back to your down dog. Let's set the knees down. Take a child's pose for a moment or two, a breath or two. Keep the neck long here in your child's pose. Good. And then we want to come down onto the belly. So through your table pose, come on down. Let's find a Sphinx pose. So in our Sphinx, elbows are going to be right under the shoulders. Palms are turned down. Fingers are spread wide. Chest comes forward, yes. I want you to lift the head a little bit more as if you're gazing up at the ceiling rather than straight forward. And then just like we've been doing, bring that the chin back to the chest. Inhale, it's Ujjayi breath. You're feeling that at the back of the throat. Exhale, bring the chin down. Couple more, inhaling for lift. Exhaling. Good. Slide the hands back now, coming up into a cobra or an upward facing dog. Make your way back, downward facing dog. I want to revisit that little sequence again with the warrior two. So let's take the right leg up, step the foot forward between the hands, the back heels turning down as you come up. Virabhadrasana 2. 3 times. Chin comes down, and then you inhale and lift it up. Exhale and inhale. You're moving energy through that space with the movement, with the breath. Reverse the warrior. Let the head hang down. Come up and through, side angle pose. Let the head hang the opposite way. Ujjayi breath. The inhale takes you back to warrior two. And the exhale, hands to the mat. Step on back, flowing through. Your down dog. And left leg rises. Bring it forward. You're a two. Chin comes down on the exhale. Head lifts back up on the inhale. 2 more times. Reverse it. Head is hanging. Neck is relaxed. It's getting that stretch. Getting that opening on the lateral sides, right? Inhale through center. Left forearm down, arm up and over. Head hangs down. Try not to hold any tension in your neck. Inhale, coming up. Hands to the ground. Step it back. Flow through if you're feeling it. We'll meet in a downward facing dog. And then set your knees to the floor. Sit for a moment. Eyes closed, breathing in that Ujjayi breath. Feel it at the back of your throat. That's still happening. Takes a lot of focus, a lot of commitment to stay with something for more than really a couple seconds, right? You keep reminding yourself to come back to that area, to the breath. I'm going to do a few more postures before our meditation here. And these, as everything else is, maybe not for everybody, so I'll give you options. We're going to begin with halasana or plow pose. And the nice way to get into this, if you're familiar with it, is just to be in your dandasana here, your seated staff pose, and then come back. And as you come back, bring the legs up and over so that the toes come to the floor behind your head. Now the thing with that is it doesn't work for everybody. So you can really have your legs anywhere, including just reaching straight up. Right? And then as your core gets stronger and your back body stretches more, you'll one day likely come into halasana. You know, there's other ways you can do it as well, using a lot of props, which is nice. We won't go into that today. If you're in your halasana pose and you want to sort of move on a little bit and come into shoulder stand, and take the hands to the back, reach the legs up, breathe here. If you're in this pose, you can definitely feel the effect that it has on your neck. And of course, like everything else, right, you don't want to feel any pain there or pinching or pressure. You don't want to mess with the neck. Could also do, legs up the wall in place of this. And you'll get the benefits of the inversion. Or since we're focusing on throat chakra, and you want to keep that Ujjayi going. From here, feet come back behind the head. And then we're slowly rolling out. It's one of the best feelings in the world. Right, to let that spine unroll vertebra by vertebra. And then once the legs come to the floor, we're moving into our fish pose, our Matsyasana. So if you remember how we had our hands, some of us in that locust pose, same thing's going to happen underneath your bottom, but this time palms are down, thumbs are touching. And we'll keep the feet and legs fairly close together. Walk the elbows a little closer together, and then bend the elbows. Right? So you're lifting the chest. It's going to give us that nice chest opener too. And then just let the head rest back here. You're not putting any weight into the head. And you're opening up the neck. This is a nice counter stretch for those poses that we just did with the neck folded in the opposite direction. Let's take a couple of those deep Ujjayi breaths here. Maybe you've been doing that the whole time, which is awesome. On the next inhale, we lift the head, we lower back down, take the arms out from underneath us, bring the knees into chest, and then just kind of move things around a little bit. Right, little low back massage, broad shoulders and chest. From here, take your hands behind your knees, make your way to a seated position. And sit up straight and tall. And we're going to go into our meditation here. So this will be again on throat chakra. Like I said, the color is blue. So we've been sort of working up that chakra rainbow, right, from the earth on up. You can visualize all of those colors, but for our purposes today, a little more attention to how that blue light is shining at the throat center. And that the neck is long and tall. We moved it in lots of different directions here. So it should feel pretty good. Hopefully it feels real good. Hopefully there's that buzz of energy and life force around it. Eyes are closed, reaching through the crown of the head. And again, the mantra associated with this chakra is Hum. So as you sit and as you focus your energy, your awareness on that space, you're repeating to yourself or out loud the mantra Hum, 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 Hum. Continue to hear or repeat and say that mantra. Oftentimes, when we work closely with those energy centers, with our chakras, we put everything we've got into enlivening and balancing out that energy. Things will rise up. You know, maybe it is something that you meant to say that you forgot, or you couldn't at the time bring yourself to say to somebody. And maybe as you work with and open up, right, these strong centers, the ability to speak your piece, to say your mind, to speak from your heart, to communicate clearly and effectively, right, it becomes easier to do. Keep that Ujjayi breath happening, that mantra hum, the vibration at the throat, the color blue. We're here for about another minute. Keep reminding yourself to sit up straight and tall. Feel the alignment along that central channel, the spinal column, that stacking not only of the vertebra, but of those energy centers, one on top of the next. The corresponding colors and mantras. And you're welcome to stay in your meditation. You're welcome to lie down and move into Shavasana. I'm going to go ahead and close out the class here. Thank you for joining us on JSTV. Have a beautiful day. Namaste.